Okay, welcome back, everyone. So, hope you had a meaningful conversation. I know I felt that we did. I did. So, we want to just go around. So, in closing, just to hear, very short, 30-second comment of what was your experience of what did you like about the circle, and maybe what you would like to have. Like, I wish, what if. Just a little bit of feedback on your experience, and I'll select people to speak, and I'll just go across the screen here. So Yuko, you're first on the screen here. Would you like to what did you like and what do you wish for?
I really learned a lot that having the container for someone who can speak and heard and someone receive and reflect brings a lot of safety where my body can relax and be present. So that I really appreciate that. And I wish that there will be more some way to bring the feelings and the physical sensation into the conversation so that I'll have more connection, of how they are. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tyler, you're next on the screen here.
What exactly is my assignment?
You just, what did you like and what would you wish for in the circles?
I thought I like being listened to. I think everybody does a really good job of listening. I can be a difficult person to listen to, and that would be what I would hope for in the future, that I will be less defensive and that I will feel safer and that I can be easier to listen to and easier to be understood because of that.
Okay, thanks. Claire?
I really liked, the unique moment was Megan doing a role play to bring in a different voice, to cause us to go deeper. So I just feel really grateful to be back in this kind of a space, and I'm glad it exists. So thank you, Edwin, for holding the space for it.
Thank you. Megan?
Yeah, I really liked how we kind of started doing this thing of saying, I'm listening right after someone shows us. I mean, not everyone did it every time, and I'm not saying it should be mandatory. It just felt good when it started happening organically. There is something very comforting about someone just saying, I'm listening. And as far as improvements or moving forward, I don't know. I noticed that I have just like a little worry of just people, like anything I said being kind of taken as static, like it's all a work in progress, even though, and I might like say things slightly differently at some point, or there might be another piece of information that I'm not sharing that is really crucial to what I did say. That, yeah, just hoping we can like remember that we're not static. And this is one moment in time, and we can continue to learn about each other and others who participate.
Okay, thank you. David?
Yeah, for the most part, I think it was another good session. I think the only critique I might have is maybe, I brought this up earlier, maybe having a more variety of times, because I'm in different moods, different times of the day and stuff. And I have a strong feeling that the people that I have the most conflict with, so to speak, sleep in late. So I'd like to talk with those people, so maybe more, maybe evening, my circle will bring a different crowd that I would be interested in as well.
Great. Thanks, David. Corey?
Despite technical difficulties, I thought it was a really good circle today, and there's a lot of deep listening and sharing. I think what I would wish for is that we could get to the deeper level of our needs and talking about what we each need, and maybe even to guessing needs in the NBC like format.
Okay, thanks. Julia?
I enjoyed the session as well, and I agree with Corey that I would enjoy the going a layer deeper to the needs. And another thing I would wish for is to know what to speak about, because I don't really have a lot of topics in my mind to speak to other people. I just cannot produce them like so that was a difficult thing for me.
Okay, thanks. Evan?
Yeah, really enjoyed it, and there was all new people that I really enjoyed hearing their different opinions, and I really liked how much everyone was comfortable just talking about how much the thoughts where they challenge, different things, and I liked hearing that and knowing that everyone felt comfortable enough to just talk about, how they wanted to challenge various things or various ideas.
Okay, thank you. Was that complete? So I didn't want to cut you off. That was, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Rona group? And you're muted.
All right, hi, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm Nick. I enjoyed very much the connection with everybody. Obviously, 2 people are here, so that was kind of straightforward enough. And meeting Joy again, and I really enjoyed the facilitation that Evan did. It was very clear, and I enjoyed all that human connection stuff, and hearing what people had to say was also good. I have a slight sense of frustration that I often do with MDC, empathy circling, of it being just a bit kind of mono-directional and it never really getting off first base and into the kind of guts of things. So I'm not quite sure how one will do that, but just that really.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry, I'm complete.
Next.
Hi, so yeah, Sophie. Yeah, I also enjoyed the facilitation and I guess the sense of safety and actually, given that it could have been topics that were quite difficult, I guess there was a sense of safety in knowing that things would just simply be reflected back. But equally, and I think a couple of people have touched on this, I would probably feel maybe a bit more satisfied knowing that it would be possible to talk about the feelings and the needs that are around that to get more, like another layer of depth. Else. I think that's it.
Okay.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I really welcomed this opportunity. This was quite new to me, and I think it's quite fascinating that so many of us can come together. And yeah, like other people have said, I feel it's perhaps just the beginning, and that further work and empathy circles can be done. And I feel quite confident that that's where those sort of extra, more discussions can come forth in an empathic way. So thank you for the opportunities.
Thanks for being here. Art?
Thank you. So yeah, I absolutely love this process. I'm like so enamored with it, and I come to these as often as I can. I think the one thing that is present for me as a possible improvement is it's funny because a few people have mentioned the word safety, and I feel that might be it might be helpful to intentionally create this as a safe place, because I got the sense that maybe a couple of people were holding back for fear of something. And so I felt like vulnerability was not completely open. And so that's just one thing that was present for me.
Okay, thanks. Joy? And you're muted.
Yeah, hi. Yeah. Okay. So it was really interesting to do something like this after a long time. And it's like, it felt like it's a little muscle that you just, each time you got to do it. And it gets better with practice, I think. And it was interesting to see that Evan had lots of practice, so he was just very fluent with that. But also that the role of the observer is also really interesting. You learn a lot doing that because you're not involved in either speaking or listening. So I just I'm aware of that as well. And I would echo the point about safety that Nick made. Structure versus safety was like, and it came up with a quip that having a structure that structure, like I think he made a point about a lot of structure can mean that people don't get down to the actual thing because it's too difficult or conflicted. And that can end up being unsafe for people, I think, not having resolution. So yeah, that's an interesting process. The skill definitely is very useful to speak in such groups, to develop the skill of listening.
Okay, thank you. For me, I always enjoy the connection. It's as a facilitator, I try to do too much here. We need a couple of people at the beginning to facilitate. I think one person to deal with the technology, and another to just do the facilitation, because there's too many balls to juggle. And what I wish for is we have more trained facilitators. So we're just getting the ball rolling. We've done, a dozen of these, with the political field area, and we're ramping up. So you're invited to, reach out to your friends, invite more people. We're going to be doing these every week, scaling up, getting more facilitators, adding other dates and times. And, I was serious about taking this to Congress. I have been talking with my congressional representative about doing some of these. I've created an event in Sacramento to do an Occupy Empathy, which I'm thinking about to get our state representatives to do this. So this is we're kind of building a snowball here and just keep rolling and building on this. And, any kind of concerns, complaints, ideas, we'll just keep rolling it in and keep iterating on this process and keep improving it and deepening it. And so thank you everyone for taking part, and we'll be here again next Saturday, same time, and I hope that you all will join us, and I'll have a bit more structure, be able to facilitate it a little bit more smoothly too. So thank you very much. Yep.
Quick question, sorry. So is it going to be the same time every week, Edwin?
Right now, for the next 3 weeks, it's the same time. We'll see after that. Maybe even add a second circle on Saturday afternoon, so all the radicals can come. This will be the moderates, and then the afternoon will be the radicals, the late sleeper radical groups, or whatever. So we'll see. Yeah.
This time works very well for us in the UK, because normally all these American, brilliant things that go on, I'm often having to stay up till 2 or 3 or 4 a.m. to take part, or 1 a.m. or whatever. So this actually works. I'm sure the other people in the UK might.
Yeah. So we want to replicate this, so you all become facilitators and hold your own empathy circles eventually.
Yeah.
And we have it all kinds of different times.
Yeah.
Get hundreds and thousands of these going. So
but to get practice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But to get practice.
Yeah. It will be this time. So
same time for a few weeks.
For the next 3 weeks.
I'm out of here. Take it easy, guys.
Okay. See you, David. Okay. So goodbye, everyone.
And also the training you mentioned, where will that
We're still testing that. So it'll be probably at the late January that we'll kind of get started with like a 4-session training just on going deeper into the nature of empathy circles. And so we'll be sending info on that, but it will be later in January.
Okay. Can I volunteer for that? I'm
great. Yeah, there's if you go to the Facebook group, there's an events section, and then click on the events, and you'll see it says facilitators group. So that's just the holding space. And so we'll know who to announce, who's interested, and we can communicate there. So.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much for today.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks, everyone.